The story begins at 6 a.m. right when the police forcefully enter Eddie Miller's house. Startled and confused, Eddie tells them there must be some mistake and that they can't just barge into someone's home like this. The officers show him a search warrant and tell him they are definitely at the right house. They ask him, "Where is your son, Jamie?" An officer named Luke goes straight to Jamie's room and tells the boy that they are arresting him for murder. Luke tells Jamie that if he has any sharp objects or weapons, he needs to hand them over right now. Jamie gets up from his bed, but his pants are wet from fear. Luke asks if he should call Jamie's dad to help. His dad comes in and changes Jamie's pants while the rest of the police start collecting evidence from all over the house. Officer Misha explains to the Miller family that their son has been arrested on a charge of murder. As he's being led away, Jamie keeps shouting, "Dad! Dad!" from inside the police car. He is taken to the police station to meet the sergeant. Officer Luke tells the sergeant that they've arrested the boy for murder and notes that he is only 13 years old. The sergeant talks to Jamie and tells him straight out that he doesn't care if he committed the murder or not. He just has some questions that Jamie needs to answer truthfully. He asks Jamie if he knows anything about his rights and if he has a lawyer or needs the station to provide one. Jamie calls his dad to ask what he should do about all of this. The sergeant then informs him that a detention order has been approved, which means the police are officially allowed to question him. Jamie is put into a cell, and Officer Luke tells Eddie that Jamie wants him to be his supporting adult, meaning he will stay with his son during the interrogation and testing. After this, a doctor comes to see Jamie and asks him if he understands what it means to be arrested. Jamie answers yes, saying he thinks it means people believe he committed a murder. The doctor then asks why he needs a lawyer, and Jamie says it's so he doesn't feel pressured into giving the wrong answers. By asking these kinds of questions, she is trying to figure out Jamie's mental state. When she goes back outside, she tells the officers that the boy is mentally stable. Once she leaves, Jamie turns to his dad and tells him he didn't do anything, asking if his dad believes him. Eddie gets very emotional and tells Jamie that he trusts him more than he trusts himself. Next, Officer Luke arranges for a lawyer. This lawyer first meets with Eddie and the rest of the family before getting the details of the case from the officers. The lawyer asks about the protocols, checking if the police have tortured Jamie or if they've given him food. Then Jamie is called in. They take his pictures, let him meet with his lawyer, and perform medical tests where they check his DNA, take his fingerprints, and draw blood. After that, the officers ask Jamie for his phone password, but his lawyer tells him not to give it to them. Then, the officers tell Jamie he has to take off his clothes. This makes Eddie really angry, but the lawyer explains that this is just protocol and they can't refuse. Everyone else turns their faces away, while the police strip Jamie in front of his father to check his entire body for any signs of torture or harassment. Seeing his son go through these physical trials completely breaks Eddie's heart. The police take those clothes as evidence and give Jamie something else to wear. Afterward, the lawyer sits down with Jamie to explain how to handle the interrogation. He tells Jamie to say no comment to most of the questions, but warns him that he can't say it to every single thing or he will look guilty. He tells Jamie to answer the easy questions, but to say no comment to anything specifically about the case. He reassures Jamie that both he and his dad will be there to defend him and that no one will pressure him. The interrogation starts, and the first question is about where he was and what he was doing the night before. Jamie says, no comment. Officer Luke mentions that they got a report from his school saying his grades are good, but his behavior has been bad for a long time, and he asks why. Jamie just says, I don't know. When Luke asks for the names of his friends, Jamie says, no comment. The officers tell him it's okay to say the names and that his friends won't get in trouble, but Jamie snaps back, saying he won't tell them anything after how they treated him. Then, the officers show him some adult content from his Instagram page that had a lot of likes and comments. They ask if he's attracted to girls like that, and Jamie says yes. They ask if he wants a friend like that, and Jamie says no because they are all much older than him. After this, they show him pictures of his actual friends from Instagram, and this time, Jamie actually tells them their names. Luke asks what they do for fun, and Jamie says they go out for drinks and play games. But when asked if he was playing with them last night, Jamie goes back to saying no comment. The police then explain why they suspect him. They didn't find his clothes at the murder scene, but they found his expensive shoes there, and the shoes had blood marks on them. Jamie had burned his clothes to hide the evidence, but he couldn't bring himself to burn his expensive shoes because he liked them too much. Those shoes were what trapped him. Getting back to the point, Officer Misha asks if he knows a girl named Katie. Jamie says yes, and then asks if there has been a murder. Officer Luke catches him immediately, pointing out that Jamie seems to know exactly what happened the night before. Jamie's own comment worked against him. They asked Eddie where he was that night, and Eddie explains he was on duty at work all night and only got home right before the police arrived. Then they asked Jamie directly if he killed Katie. Jamie denies it, saying he didn't kill her and that someone else must have done it. The officers then tell him that Katie was stabbed 7 times with a knife. They show Jamie some CCTV footage where it's clear that he was following her. He tries to deny it's him, but the footage shows everything. It shows how the girl first pushed Jamie, which made him angry. Then he grabbed her, stabbed her, and killed her. Seeing this, Jamie starts crying. Eddie is completely shocked that his son could do something so horrible. Officer Luke tells Jamie that the evidence is solid and asks if he wants to apologize to the girl's mother. Jamie doesn't say a word, and the interrogation ends. When Eddie and Jamie are left alone in the room, Jamie tries to tell his dad again that he didn't do it. But Eddie has seen the footage. He just hugs Jamie and asks him why he did all of this. Later, Officer Luke goes to the school to investigate. Before he goes in, he messages his son, who also goes to that school. He starts by questioning Katie's friend, but the girl is rude and doesn't give him any real answers. During the school assembly, things get violent when Katie's friend attacks Jamie's friend, screaming that he's the one who killed her friend. The teachers break it up, and another boy starts bullying the one who got hit, laughing because he got beaten up by a girl. Luke finds the whole environment at the school very strange. Luke then questions a boy named Ryan. He tells Ryan he's investigating a murder and asks how Jamie's mood was the day before. Ryan says it was normal. But when Luke asks about the weapon Jamie used, Ryan gets scared and tries to leave. His behavior makes the officers realize Ryan is hiding something. Then, Luke's son, Adam, comes to talk to him privately. Adam wants to help and shows his dad Jamie's Instagram. It turns out Katie had been bullying Jamie online. She was insulting him and telling him that no one would ever want to be with him and that he'd never get married. Everyone who liked her comments was basically joining in on the bullying. Adam tells his father there are many more comments like this that he should look at. Luke asks Adam if he gets bullied too, but Adam says no. Luke tells Officer Misha that their guesses about the Instagram page were wrong. Jamie wasn't the one being bad. Katie was the one bullying him with her friends. The school principal hears this and feels terrible about it. However, the police still don't know where Jamie got the weapon. Luke suspects Ryan knows, so he goes to his class. Ryan tries to run out the back door, but Luke catches him. He asks Ryan why Katie was being so mean to Jamie. Ryan tells him to ask the other friends, but Luke pressures him, reminding him that a girl is dead. Finally, Ryan admits that the weapon was actually his. Because of this, the police arrest Ryan too, thinking he might be involved with Jamie. Meanwhile, Eddie is feeling very ashamed of what his son did. He goes to the place where Katie was killed, leaves a bouquet of flowers, and prays for her. The scene then shifts to a psychiatrist who is trying to understand Jamie's mental state. She gives him a sandwich and tries to make small talk, but Jamie gets annoyed and asks why she isn't getting to the point. He wants to see her notes, but she tells him she can't show him because they are for the judge. Jamie gets angry and asks why they don't just put him in jail instead of bothering him. He calls the place a torture center and says he hears people screaming all the time. He gets so worked up that he knocks his cup over. A guard comes in to check on them, but the psychiatrist claims everything is fine. She later watches the CCTV footage of his outburst to study his body language. She goes back into the room and tells Jamie she isn't there for a confession, she just wants to understand him. She asks about how his dad treats his mom, but Jamie says his dad has nothing to do with this. When she asks if he likes girls, he gets angry and says girls don't like him because he's ugly. He gets offended because she doesn't reassure him that he's cute. He says the previous psychiatrist was better. When he hears that the judge needs two opinions, he gets aggressive and starts shouting again. A security guard has to come in to calm him down. Jamie is fuming and asks the psychiatrist if she thinks she's a queen because the guard told him to speak to her nicely. Once he cools down, they continue. She mentions that Jamie previously said he and his friends were bullied at school, that kids spit on them and beat them up. Jamie confirms this is true. She asks about the models on his Instagram and if he posted a picture of himself hoping girls would like him. Jamie denies it. Then she brings up Katie's bullying comments. Jamie says she only did it to him because he's ugly. When asked what he said back to her, Jamie says he knows she's seen the video, but claims you can only see a boy in the footage and it might not be him. He says that while he should have killed her for how she treated him, he actually spared her that night. The psychiatrist simply advises him to seek mental health services. As he's being taken away, Jamie gets aggressive again, asking if she likes him and screaming for her to tell his dad that he's doing okay. The psychiatrist thinks about how strange it is that he doesn't seem sorry at all. 13 months pass. Jamie's family is still grieving over everything that happened. It's Eddie's birthday, but he's not in the mood to celebrate. He gets a card from his own father with £5 in it and a card from Jamie with a sketch of Eddie. Suddenly, his daughter tells him that someone spray-painted the word non-C on their car. Eddie tries to scrub it off, but the paint is permanent. He decides to take the car to a shop immediately and insists his wife and daughter come along because he's afraid to leave them home alone. He screams at his neighbors, asking who did it, but they all ignore him or act cold. Two kids on bikes tease him about the writing on the car, and Eddie realizes it was them. He tells a neighbor to watch the house and then starts throwing blue paint over the car to cover the insult. He ends up catching the two boys who did it. One of them claims it was just a joke, which makes Eddie even angrier. He slaps the boy and tells him that their lives aren't a joke. He throws the boy's bike after him as he runs away. When he gets to the car center, the security guards complain about the mess he's making with the paint. Eddie is rude to them, telling them he'll pay them to shut up and clean it. You can see how much Jamie's mistake has ruined Eddie's mental health. While they are in the car, the police station calls. Jamie wants to wish his dad a happy birthday. Eddie tells him he liked the card. Jamie says things are okay and that he's used to the bad stuff now. Then, Jamie drops a bombshell. He's decided to confess. The car goes silent. Jamie says he's sorry and that he's going to admit to what he did. His mom takes the phone and asks how he is, but Jamie realizes he was supposed to be talking to his dad. He says goodbye to his mom and sister and hangs up. The family is left in tears. Eddie's wife tells him that it's probably better this way, that Jamie taking responsibility will help them move on. She points out that while Jamie is alive, Katie's mother will never see her daughter again. They wonder if they did something wrong as parents. Finally, Eddie goes into Jamie's room and looks at how Jamie had decorated it. He realizes Jamie will never get to live there again, and he breaks down crying. The story ends there,